Bernstein is with us. And Josh, thanks for hanging on with us as we got things cleared up. So the speech I thought was strong. I thought it was great that he was critical of these clowns right in front of him. It was short, to the point. He later, gave speeches at the arena where he sort of went into some different areas. But overall, I thought it was a very good start to his second term. Your thoughts?
About these pardons, right? We're talking about the pardons, and people are upset, and obviously we should be upset because he basically broke records for last-minute pardons in history. And his administration, they spent the last 4 years going after their political opponents in the most partisan ways possible, jailing innocent grandmothers who, all their crime was praying for unborn children, jailing innocent Trump supporters and patriots and prosecuting them in unfair trials, using biased judges to obtain prosecutions. And so now we have to look at this and say, okay, well, can anything actually come of this? Well, yeah, there's quite a few things that can come of this. Judge Merchan, Ed Garon, Chutkan, Bragg, Letitia James, Fani Willis, Jack Smith, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Gavin Newsom, all of these people have not been pardoned. So there's still plenty of meat on the bone, okay? That's what I want people to understand. But the other thing is this. I spoke with Alan Dershowitz, and I asked him point blank, can you have someone be pardoned if they have not been indicted on a charge of a crime yet? And the answer, sadly, is yes, they can be. Believe it or not, there's something called preemptive pardoning. And the U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, actually gives the ability to be able to do that. So if that's the case, why not we just ignore these pardons? And if the Trump Department of Justice truly wants to get back to a non-two-tier justice system, well, it's pretty simple. Charge these people, indict them, investigate them, make them spend tons and tons of money, bankrupt them, and then at the end, in 2028, just pardon everybody, as whoever was involved in it. I mean, that's what they basically did to President Trump, did they not? They went after him. They went after his family. They went after him personally. They tried to jail him. They tried to kill him. They tried to do all these things.
Everything.
They went after
they raided his home. He had to go take a mugshot. Let's do this. Josh in the studio, let's play clip number 3 for everyone. This is when Biden was asked about preemptive pardons. Let's see what he said. This was in December of 2020. Let's check it out.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So, this guy said, of course, he wasn't going to pardon his family, and he did. He said he wasn't going to pardon his son, and he did. He said he wasn't going to do preemptive pardons, and he did. So, I mean, the biggest liar maybe to ever to be in the White House, he's a known plagiarist for years and years and years. I think the guy is incredibly corrupt. But he didn't pardon himself, did he, Josh?
No, nor did he pardon his wife. And I believe that when President Trump opens up the book, so to speak, on the assassination attempt, well, it's going to be an interesting revelation, shall we say. And let's just say that I think at least a couple of people that were involved in it have not been pardoned. And I think that's a good thing. So we're going to see what happens. Look, these judges, a lot of people say, well, you can't go after judges and prosecutors. Yeah, you can. It's called malicious prosecution. It's called abuse of power. It's called obstruction of justice. It's called election interference. Yes, you can, and yes, we will.
You know, he waited till the last minute to do this. President Trump didn't even know about it until after he was, sworn in. Just another dirty trick by this guy. The transition was disgraceful, the whole thing, everything he tried to do. So now, the cleanup crew comes in. We try to save this country and move forward with the Trump agenda, with MAGA, and, with the new team, which I think is so much better than the one from 8 years ago. So, I'm feeling good, Josh.
Infinitely better. Absolutely. Look, when you've got real, expertise, people that are articulate, people that have experience, and more importantly, people that tried to change the agencies in which they are now going to be in charge of from the outside. Whistleblowers, litigators, you name it, right? I mean, look at RFK Jr. He's been suing Big Pharma for 30 plus years, and now he's going to be running HHS. So look, I think there's a lot of things that need to happen. I want to see, the reversal of course, the Communications Indecency Act, as I like to call it, Section 230, so that these social media platforms can then be sued. The other thing I want to see is I want to see the reversal of the 1986 Vaccine Injury Court, which is basically a wink, wink and a nod, nod to the big pharma industry that allows them carte blanche to hurt people, maim people, kill people, and not have to suffer the consequences financially or criminally. We need to repeal that. That's a rule that possibly could be repealed. I don't know if you can do that on executive order, but you might be able to. And so we've got to open this up so that people can sue these big pharma companies and people can get put back whole. I mean, think of how many people's lives have been ruined, and the ones that didn't die that are now living and suffering with long COVID because of what the government did.
Millions of people. I'm glad to hear that the military members who lost their jobs would be restored with full pay. Those who got kicked out because of their objections to the vaccine, so that was a good thing. Getting out of the Paris Climate Accord, that of course is good. The J6 prisoners
clearances.
Coming home, that's
clearances too.
Yeah, right.
Of the 51 liars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they need to pay a price for being liars. And, Enrique Tarrio, the guy who was the head of the Proud Boys, is set to be released from prison tonight. So,
thank goodness. Him and the other gentleman with the patch over his eye, his name escapes me right now. But these two were railroaded. They were railroaded. All of them were railroaded. Every single one of them.
All of them.
He ought to just let every single one of them out of jail, because the bottom line is there was no insurrection.
Right.
Nobody was charged with insurrection because it didn't meet the threshold for what happened. They peacefully and patriotically went to the Capitol to redress their government.
And Josh, if there was any question about it, now that Biden has given pardons to everybody, that should give President Trump the impetus to say, all right, now everybody gets pardoned, all the January 6th people, because Biden just pardoned the whole committee, General Milley. He was on a pardon spree. I mean, he's been going crazy now for weeks with his pardons and commutations, and all of them need to be freed. It's been, a definite injustice, and it's going to be a great day when those people get out of prison.
Every judge, every prosecutor, every person involved in putting these people, innocent hostages, that's what they are, political hostages, in jail, their pensions, their retirements, all that money should go to each one of these people, and they ought to get millions upon millions of dollars to make restitution possible for these folks that have lost so much of their lives watching their kids grow up without their father or their mother. It's just so sad and sick.
And also being put in horrific conditions, being mistreated, being abused, being beaten up, having solitary confinement, not having a trial, and just not having due process rights. I mean, all of it is just so un-American, and it's a chapter that should never be revisited. All right, let's get some of these calls in, Josh. A lot of people want to chime in on some of these topics, and folks, let's try to get everyone in. So make a brief comment, and then we'll try to bring on some others. Let's go to Roy, who is with us in Marrero. Hey, Roy, how are you? Good evening, my friend.
Hey, good evening, Jeff. Yeah,
there you are.
I tried to call this morning when Paul's line dropped. So did mine. They never did come back to that line, so they just left it like somebody was on there. And if they would have hung up, I could have called back because I kept calling and I couldn't get back.
Yeah, so when the lines are full, you can't get in, and we thought you were on, but I guess you weren't.
It was letting me ring because they had a line open, but because it was like on my name and all, but it wouldn't if nobody's answering the phone.
Well, you're
anyway,
in now, my
did
friend.
You hear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I told you before when you went on to OAN with Riley Lewis. I told you he was just in there substituting for Kara McKinney.
Uh-huh.
Well, Kara McKinney came back. They're going to be giving Riley Lewis his own show.
Oh, good.
Like Matt Gaetz got a show on there, and Riley Lewis is going to get a show on there. Now, I don't know if you heard about this, but Vivek got out of Doge.
Yeah, they. I
He's
heard
going to be running for governor of Ohio.
Right. I heard there was some conflict, and he's going to be running for governor, and good for him. I didn't like his stance. I didn't like Elon's stance about the H-1B visas, and I think it might have ruffled
they're doing
some
that
people.
With Trump. Trump likes that. They
the wrong way.
They powwow with Trump. So
the base didn't like it. The base didn't like it.
Did you hear that the acting FBI director, the one that took over the one of Christopher Wray, he's resigning too?
Good. They all need to resign.
Well, he knows that they're going to be going after them. I guarantee you that.
Good.
So,
all right, my friend, you got some good info for us, Roy, and appreciate
all right, I'll try to talk to you some more.
Call in. Call in later on in the week. I want to hear from you. That's
all
Roy
right.
from Marrero. Thank you. Josh, any comments?
Yeah, other than just the fact that, everything that we're seeing, all these people are scattering. It's like the rats are scattering, right? It's like walking into a seedy motel, which you never want to stay at. You turn the lights on and all the roaches they see the light and they run. So it's kind of the same thing. That's what Washington has become over the last 4 years, even more than that. Roaches, basically. And so now we got to just put the can of Raid on them all.
Get the Raid out. All right. Let's keep it on the West Bank. Keith checking in with us this evening. How are you, my friend? Good evening.
Good evening, Jeff, and thank you. Two quick things I'd like to get with you and Josh. One is on the pardons. What about police officers? Give them a blanket pardon, Jeff, because you know how the Democrats or the liberals always want to go after them when they do their job. So I say let them give them a pardon where they can't go after them like that, instead of just immunity that they have.
Yeah. Okay.
And then my second point with y'all is going to be this. They want more Supreme Court justices. Well, I can name 4 right now if he wants to put them on, if he can. Ken Paxton, Ron DeSantis, Glenn Youngkin, and Ted Cruz. That's 4 right there. If they want to add to the Supreme Court,
I like it at 9. I like it at 9. To be honest,
I like
with
it
you,
at 9.
But
all right. Well, thank you, Jeff. I'm gonna let somebody else
my
call.
friend. Thank you, Keith.
All right, thank you.
Good to hear from you, sir. With us on the West Bank. All right, let's conclude with our great friend in the Bluegrass State, the home of one of the best in the Senate. Chris is joining us. And, of course, one of the best is not Mitch McConnell, it's Rand Paul. Hey, Chris.
I'm a real Kentucky colonel.
Colonel Chris. Yes, sir.
I'm a colonel. Did anybody cry today watching the inauguration?
My wife
I had to
did.
get tissue.
Yeah, my wife did. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was beautiful.
It was?
It was beautiful, man. I didn't think we'd survive. Under Obama, I lost $300,000 in Kentucky coal production.
Wow.
And he won't let us even ship coal to India or anywhere. It cost me my horse farm, my Great Danes. I gave away.
Buddy, everything's now changing. We got a new sheriff in town, my friend.
That's why I was crying.
Yeah,
literally.
It's going to be a chance for us to make some money again and be prosperous. I mean, look at what
your wife shed
look
some
at what
tears.
Biden. Yeah, she definitely cried. Look at what Biden did to our state, oil and gas industry. He did the same thing to our state. He destroyed it. So we're looking forward to drill, baby, drill.
And y'all got an ice storm coming. I can't believe that.
Oh, we're going crazy down here.
Louisiana's trying to go to paper ballots too, isn't it?
Yeah, we just passed, and
there you go.
Yeah,
global warming, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, global warming. We're going to have an ice storm tomorrow. Crazy.
My friends in Destin are hurting, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't drive anywhere.
What we're going to do is just hunker down, and get through it. All right, Chris.
God bless you, brother.
My friend. Thank you.
God bless.
Josh Bernstein. Thank you, Chris. Josh Bernstein. Final comments, sir.
If you want a new Supreme Court justice, if one comes up, I can give you a suggestion. How about Judge Eileen Cannon? I think she's earned the right.
Great idea. Let's do it. All right, my friend. We'll talk to you next week. Josh Bernstein. Keep the great commentary coming. That's Josh with us. Thanks to Josh in the studio and all of you for joining us. All right, keep it right here on WGSO, American Ground Radio.